looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Facebook, it's at Pat and JT. It's Pat and JT. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all those. It's Pat and JT. 402-403-9478. This is episode 329 of the Pat and JT podcast.
So we're like 30, just over a month away.
Ish. Yeah.
Ish.
February
just over a month
15th-ish.
away. February 15th would be 365-ish.
Yeah,
something
ish,
around there.
Right around there. Give or take.
Whatever that number is.
Yeah.
Of one full year.
Yeah. Pretty lit.
Podcast every day for a year.
Pretty exciting.
Wow. Did you say something about a mountain lion too the other day?
Yeah, I saw it was the end of the week, last week. I saw that there was a mountain lion spotted out by Gretna.
Did Chris Shelton posted a picture of that?
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw this was from 1011 News in Lincoln posted that.
He said not the first, won't be the last.
I'm sure they're all over the place.
I'm sure they are too.
And they're sneaky.
Yeah. It's just when you start having developments that they get pushed around and move. It's kind of like where we work. We have a window that used to look into a beautiful field.
No.
And
No, it's a big work zone.
and they're building something out
Hopefully
here.
it's a sandwich store.
Right?
That would be awesome. If it's like a restaurant or something right there.
That would be fantastic.
Would it be fantastic?
I hope because we're kind of in a restaurant desert area.
Kind of. Nothing is it's within walking, like it's less than a quarter of a mile if you
Within
want to go to
walking
Varsity or to Cilantro's.
Within walking.
Right. Coming from the lady who drives to the mailbox, the other side of the building.
Because it's windy and cold. So I go out and jump in my truck, drive all the way around. The mailbox is on the other side of the building.
Takes longer to go get in the truck.
No, it does
turn
not.
on.
I've timed it. It's one quick pass counterclockwise because the mailbox is on my left. So I can, when I drive by, I can just stop, pop out, check the mail, jump back in, drive back around. I do drive around. When it was nice out, I walked.
Yeah, that's true.
I did, but I'm not going to walk in this crap. I'm not going to do it. I'm not about to. But yeah, I would give anything if there was just like a nice little
If we could put
sandwich
in,
shop.
if they would have surveyed us, a sandwich shop, maybe a nice little bistro, like a little breakfast joint.
That would be
or
awesome.
something.
Just to have, and there's plenty of businesses around here where we're at. There are lots of small business people that are in this area. That'd be good.
We should do a Parkville cafe. Make sandwiches and egg salad and stuff.
We know so little about opening a business. Let's open another one.
Right, yeah. That's true. We're
still trying to figure this one out.
Seriously. Now let's mix in some product that can expire on us.
We should ask Vers if he could help us with that.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think he's out on that.
He could be our manager, right?
He's out on that one.
Oh, come on. All right, so Jesse Smollett.
So about the
Yes.
mountain lion thing, was it like a legit, the picture that Shelton shared?
Yeah.
It was,
I don't know.
it could have been faraway dog.
It could have been. Well, the picture was definitely mountain lion. I don't know if he took it. I don't know where it came from, that picture. That picture may not have been of the mountain lion, but yes.
Well, we know they're here because that one was shot on 114th and Dodge or tranquilized or whatever. But this was about 10 years ago.
But that's because, like we said, when you start with like here, we had a lot of open fields around where our building is. And when they started developing it, all of a sudden you had other animals that are disrupted. The Boys Town area in particular, where they're building and they're tearing down stuff. And the transformation is amazing so far. If you get a chance, like you can duck off Dodge Street at 150th southbound and go straight through at 150th.
It is pretty insane.
Maybe cut back across over to 144th or whatever. And it's like those roads are legit. They're done. Mm-hmm. And there are buildings up there that they're not populated yet, but there are buildings up there.
We drove by there last week for the first time in a very, very long time in that area. And it's unbelievable.
It's crazy. So that's why people have been seeing coyotes and stuff in their backyards.
But you had to take 6 weeks to fill a pothole. Give me a freaking break.
I don't think it's the same company.
Well, they need to hire that company. That company needs to branch off.
Somebody needs to talk to Noddle.
Kiwit or something.
Somebody. You need a pothole division.
Oh, if they did.
Right?
Come on.
Take it over.
Yeah.
Take it over. So yeah, I'm not really sure, but that's why you're seeing, it seems like some of these big projects that are happening in town is disrupting the environment and the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So critters are taking off trying to find new places to live, essentially. All right. So Jesse Smollett, Juicy Smollett, as some called him. I really don't know, as far as the case itself, We all know what happened.
Yeah,
Right.
We do.
The investigation continues. But what did happen just recently, a Cook County, which is Chicago, Cook County judge ordered Google to turn over all of Jesse's data for a year as part of the special prosecutor's investigation into the attack. So 2 search warrants. This is just fascinating to me and also terrifying. But they said they provided kind of a glimpse in the direction that the special prosecutor is going, where so far it's been more than 4 months in this investigation. So the warrants that were filled out, they sought all kinds of information from him and his manager's Google accounts, not just emails. Drafted and deleted messages are included in that because they aren't really deleted.
Right. Nothing ever is, you guys.
Any file in their Google Drive cloud storage,
Never deleted.
Google voice texts, calls, contacts, search and web browsing history, location data. For 1 full year, even though the key events took place January to March in 2019, they want from November 18 to November 19.
Oh, and guess what? Google has it.
They have all of it.
Of course they do.
And they're going to be looking for any kind of incriminating remarks from him or his manager, especially in the months after. And then all of a sudden, the state attorney's office abruptly dismissed the case. Remember that? Mm-hmm. There's going to be something in there. You just know there's something in there somewhere. But they ordered Google and its agents, employees, whatever, not to disclose any other information anywhere else. He wants to see all of this himself. And it's going to include the messages, location services, photos, private messages, all of that stuff that he has through Google.
Yep.
Now,
Just because you delete it, just because you remove the file, just because you turn off your
That's
location, just because you go in and you are searching in ghost mode or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you really think that they are like, oh, they don't want to be seen what they're doing, so we're not going to record it. Come on.
I would think that when you turn off your GPS services, that's what turns it on for them.
For sure. or at least it like puts a flag on it, or it lets somebody know like, okay, this person's going incognito for whatever reason. Maybe it's just airplane mode and you turn off your phone,
Right.
but it's something.
That's just
For
crazy.
sure.
And you're right. All those options, whether you want to be GPS or you delete something or whatever, they're aesthetics. They're simply to make you feel good.
They're the plunger when you after surgery that you can keep pushing to think you're getting morphine to make you feel better, but you're really it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And when is society going to stop being shocked about this? Like, oh my gosh,
They got everything.
Because Google, we've talked about this a million times.
I know.
Because Google has such amazing things for your business, for personal life, for organization, and it's all free. So they're obviously getting something,
How are they getting paid?
That's your habits, your things you buy, your search histories. They can sell advertising on that.
They can sell all that information to advertisers.
Right. So I mean, come on, let's not,
sure, they'll give it away for free because you are.
let's not be shocked.
We are. And I just wholesale dove into Google this year. Before that, I wasn't. I did do Gmail, but I also primarily used my Cox account. And I did, not that that's probably any different, but Google's different.
Well, I think
But
if you pay for stuff, I think they're like better. I've read, I think it was last year that I read something about
It's like
that.
our G Suite.
Right. Like
we
if
pay for that.
Like if we pay for, or on any, not even necessarily Google, but like if you go to email.net, whatever, and you pay for a subscription and you're paying for it, it's harder to get information. They don't store as much, like, because you're paying for the service. But if it's free, Hotmail, riddled with disease.
Yes, it is.
Yahoo, just crazy. I mean,
Well, we all had those addresses at some point. I still have a Hotmail address.
Yeah.
And I tell you, there's got to be people that probably cringe when they see it. You know, it's like, I don't want to input that. It's like, well, sorry, then don't. But
don't worry about it.
That's why I have it. It's my burner account. So that's why I have it. But I still have a Yahoo address that's hanging out there somewhere. I don't know. Don't use it. But it's like you went through that incarnation where you had the AOL address.
Yep.
And then the Hotmail. And what was it before Hotmail? No, it was Hotmail, and then it turned MSN. Mm-hmm. And then the Yahoo, and now it's the Google.
Yep. And
Right?
Google just you can't turn away from it. You can't not use Google.
Because Google has too many tentacles.
It uses everything. I mean, from your maps, your Google Earth, when you Google, you literally go on Google and you Google something, and then the map, and then it knows where you are. You can't
Everything you've
avoid
asked
it.
for. And like we've talked about, I had the navigation system in my car. Now my navigation system is my phone. And so when I'm driving, I can, okay, Google, and it comes up on my screen.
Yeah,
and it's my phone.
Too
but
slick,
it's-
and your phone just woke up
and
because
it
you just said,
did
"Hey,
that.
Google."
Go away, go back to sleep.
Yes.
Okay, so
I know it's I don't know.
it is crazy.
I didn't realize it was a few years ago that I found out when I still had an Android and primarily powered by Google, and I went back into my history, and you could see on a map where I had been the last year.
Oh my God! I remember
And
the
it was
first
the
time I ever
craziest
saw
thing.
that. Freaked me out.
Yeah, well, heck yeah, because you don't know it's there. Number one,
No.
and then you're like, man, I don't go anywhere but the grocery store or the bar. And work.
It's kind of like if somebody was just drawing a line back and forth with a pencil on a piece of paper, may as well just rip the paper.
Right, and then one little offshoot, high V, work, high V, yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
I felt kind of embarrassed. So, but it was frightening though when the first time that you see that. Now you know it's there, but there's nothing you can do about it. And again, like you said, I don't think turning it off does one damn thing.
It doesn't.
Except you can't see it anymore.
You have to just literally not turn your phone on
Yeah.
or not have a phone if you don't want to be tracked. So sorry,
Exactly.
Jesse.
That's just crazy stuff.
Rolling into 2020, want to thank Kugler Vision for supporting our
Yes.
podcast, the Pat and JT podcast.
They've been with us practically from the beginning, and couldn't be happier to be associated with them and all the great things that they're doing. Dr. Kugler and the entire staff, they're just first class people in general, but first class facility, no doubt. They lead the pack really when it comes to the technology, when it comes to having those procedures done that are going to completely change the way you see everything. Pat and I both had procedures done, and I only wish I'd done it sooner. And a lot of people, I think, stay away from it because they're a little nervous about it.
They don't know what it's all about. So
Right.
you can go to their website, you can go in, you can get a consultation. We were in the office just the other day and walking through there, you're reminded as how streamlined the process is, how non-intimidating it is, and how you know at the end of it, you're going to
Yeah.
get a cookie, a delicious cookie.
They do. Right when you walk in the front door. As a matter of fact, Corey was at the desk, and she gets you checked in, and whoever you're there to see, and the doctors there really know their stuff.
And more information, if you are maybe just thinking about for the very first time,
Yeah.
getting any sort of procedure like that, there's so much information on kuglervision.com. You can go there, you can find out everything. You can schedule your consultation.
Yeah.
You can find out about all the different procedures they offer, and then you can go in and find out
Which-
if you're a candidate.
That's what a lot of people don't realize, too, is there's not just one procedure that you can have done. I think there's 7.
7, yeah.
And depending on what your eyes require, they run you through a battery of tests, and then they tell you these are your options. And then you let them kind of guide you as to what is going to benefit you the most for the long run. And we're excited to be working with them this year because obviously it's 2020.
Right. So there, this, and if you're thinking about this at all, ever, this is the universe telling you you're in 2020. Maybe you can see as close to 2020 as possible. So this is
Right?
the time you need to go into Kugler Vision.
Absolutely. And remember this promo code PatentJT 2020. But check in at their website at kuglervision.com for more details.
Thank you, Kugler Vision.
There's a bill. Oh my gosh. Let me find this real quick here. Where is it at? Maybe one of the silliest pieces of legislation. I don't know. We'll see what you think about it. What state is this from? Is it Vermont? Might be. Anyway, the bill would ban the possession of cell phones for anyone under the age of 21.
That's so dumb. That's so stupid.
It was introduced into their state senate. It's not here, okay? That's all I can tell you that. It's somewhere. It's on the East Coast somewhere. The author was Senator John Rogers. If you want to look that up, see where he's at.
Okay.
Rodgers.
Okay.
But Senator Rogers says that cell phones are used to radicalize and recruit terrorists, fascists, and other extremists.
It's also used for Toon Blast, Joe.
But if you're not mature enough at age 18 to smoke cigarettes or purchase a firearm,
Vermont.
Vermont.
You know what? Vermont, they don't listen to our podcast. That's the one. Vermont and West Virginia are the only 2 states that have never listened to our podcast. So you know what? I don't care if you have a cell phone or not. You're probably not using it for podcasts anyway. So.
Right? They probably don't even know how.
Right.
Anyway, but it said that if you can't smoke or you can't purchase a firearm, their minimum age in Vermont for both of those is 21. You shouldn't be trusted with a cell phone either.
Okay, I'm fine on board with the 21 for a firearm and 21 for drinking, whatever. But for a cell phone, that's stupid.
Well, okay, the data that they're bringing to this argument has to do with not only cell phone screen time in general, a lot of problems, but talking about accidents in cars.
Sure. Yeah.
The number about how that's gone up with texting.
And it does seem that when there is an accident that where texting is involved or distracted driving is involved, it's usually a younger driver.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. So I get what he's saying. Just said we don't need children in elementary school strolling into a convenience store and ordering a pack of Marlboros. So why should they be able to decide for themselves that they can have a cell phone and have complete access to the internet, and be able to get things that they shouldn't be able to get into? I see what he's, but it's so extreme. And you know what's really funny though is he does admit at the end that he won't vote for it himself, but he just wanted to put it out there to make people think.
Right.
So maybe the answer is more options for parental controls on phones.
Yeah.
I mean, how old were your kids when they got phones?
Like 11 or 12, I think. 12, maybe it's been so long now, but maybe 13. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's about right.
I don't remember.
Somewhere around there. But it is interesting because I get what he's saying because of the distracted driving and and you see it in your car. You know, when you're driving, and it's almost like it's a double-edged sword because it's a blessing.
Yeah. It is
right? But then on the other side, you're like, oh, God, but they should be doing more than just looking at the screen playing Toon Blast.
I only have specific...
Because they should be playing Slug Bug.
Right. Yeah, right.
Like we did.
I only have specific experience with Millard, so I don't know exactly what other school districts teach. But Bennett and Sophia are both just over the top texting, no texting while driving. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. It's to where, and no alcohol, no drinking. I mean, they so I think, and I know the schools have a lot to do with that kind of stuff, especially because I don't know if it's the PSAs or the specific visitors they have at the school, police coming in and showing with demonstrations, but they are adamant that if anybody, because there have been a couple times when we're running late doing whatever, no excuse, but it happens, and you grab your phone, you got to shoot a text back or let somebody know you're late, and instantly like that. Dad, Edward Safford.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, there's the yeller in the family.
So, and I feel terrible. You know, and so it's working. Something's working, but there's always going to be people that don't follow it and kids that don't follow it and go too fast and text and drive.
I think that transition, maybe we're getting over that hump because we've only had phones for what, 15, 20 years? Really?
Yeah. And,
I mean, 20 years
Texting really for only about 10, 12 years at the most. So
we used to have it on the StarTAC.
Yeah, and that would have been worse.
You have to pull over.
3333 444. Oh, crap. Back. 4444.
Anybody that doesn't understand that language,
Google it.
What was it called? T9. T9? Was that what it's called? Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. T9, Touch 9. Yeah, that was awful. I figured it out. And I did, and that's one thing that I did miss when I switched over to smartphone is because on a not even StarTAC, Razor, any of your flip phones, you could feel the buttons.
So you could do it without looking.
You could do it without looking.
Well, now you have voice, and you can just tell it what you want,
which is so much better. So much better. But I think we're kind of over that hump of people trying to get away with the text, because at first we thought everybody texted when they drove. Everybody did when we first got the cell phones, when we first got the smartphones. And then they started seeing the rise in accidents and they started changing the laws. And you started seeing, I'm not going to do that anymore. But at first, I think everybody did it.
Oh, 100%.
Without a doubt. Yep. All right. So last one, Fugitive Friday, because we're talking about all us criminals.
Okay, perfect.
Let's get it out there for the Saunders County Sheriff's Department in Wahoo, Nebraska. Granted, it's a few days late, but that's okay. So we got two people out here for Fugitive Friday. And the first one is 21-year-old Nicholas Vicente Lares, wanted for failure to appear. Again, not for the crime, but for failure to appear. Had to appear for 2 corrections for his sentencing, because he had a DUI charge. So he's already been charged with it. It's already happened. He just had to show up for sentencing. So apparently he lives around Fremont.
Yeah, well, let's go find him.
Good job. And then Rhonda Welch is 51. I'm just going to say that Rhonda, they didn't have a mugshot of Rhonda, but apparently somebody supplied them with a nice picture. It looked like possibly from an anniversary or something like that. She was in a pretty little dress. And
somebody knew who Rhonda was?
Apparently somebody supplied that picture to the Sheriff's Department. So they had a really nice picture of her at an event. It looked like. It's like no mugshot. But again, failure to appear. And charges were driving during suspension, had some other miscellaneous charges, but her last known address was in Toohey. So if you know anything about Rhonda or Nicholas, you can give them a call. Saunders County Sheriff's Department. Maybe never know. Some quick cash.
And Rhonda, they have access to your Google history.
Apparently, so Rhonda, they looked you up.
That's right. And thanks to whoever outed you with your anniversary
and
picture.
Google said, hey, here's a picture of Rhonda. I just grabbed this out of her cloud.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Funny.
There you go.
All right, you guys, thanks for listening to our podcast and texting us, all that kind of fun stuff. You can always go to patandjt.com for links and all that stuff.
All connected.
It's all right there. I'm telling you.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.